Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 193 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of October 8th, 2022. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me I have, well, the entirety of the four foamers. And before we go any further, I need to make my obligatory announcement advertisement, which is that batch number 2 trading cards, Locomotive Versus trading cards, Steam Locomotive trading cards are now on sale. You can find them in the, there will be a link in the description. If it's not in the description, it'll be inside the cargoes. And, that's 17 brand new locomotives, including our first diesel. If this is the first thing you're hearing about it, I'm actually a little bit impressed, but they'll be on sale until October 30th, or the end of the 30th, midnight on October 31st. So, without further ado, the train will terminate at this station.
Hello, we have Cood Ellis. He is no longer a member of this podcast. This podcast shall be known as the Departure Podcast, and henceforth referred to as the Departure Podcast. With me,
Ellis has been subject to a fate worse than death.
Louisiana.
And Dean in the same time at the same space. I am now your new host, Nicholas Wakefield. With me, we have East Rail, Hemlock, Tyler, and Bender, and we are going to make a great podcast. I've never had to do this before, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm trying my best. This week's Railcan, we are in Rochelle, Illinois, on the two greatest railroads where labor does not contribute to profit. On the left, you've got BNSF, and on the right, you've got Union Pacific. I have no idea what subdivisions these are, and I have no idea any other information about Rochelle. So, anyway, yeah, let's get the show on the road.
Wait, did you send the cam? Because the most recent cam you sent was of Greencastle.
Oh yeah, I accidentally sent Greencastle, but I meant Rochelle. So you can just look up Rochelle.
Let's go round robin and actually give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, because Achilles just sort of pressed. Yeah.
Yeah, Achilles just kind of went through and started everything without letting anyone talk.
Yeah, because we love Achilles. Our good friend Achilles is very good at this. Tyler, who are you?
I'm Tyler. I'm here to technical advise. I'm here to die from blunder.
Are you playing a game while you're doing the podcast?
No, that's you.
I'm not.
You're playing the game of life and you're losing.
Okay.
Guys.
It's going great.
It's outstanding. Ellis is gonna love it. So.
Yay, him.
Yeah, him. I am Hemlock. I have pronouns. They're they, them.
They also have voice cracks.
Yeah, I'm Hemlock. I have pronouns. They're they, them. I was here like 2 episodes ago, so hopefully you remember me.
Except now you're a
two
host.
People who watch the podcast. Yay, East Rail.
Yay, East Rail. Hi, I'm East. I'm a human.
All right. That's cool.
No, you're a B-17.
Thanks.
My pronouns are he, him, and yay, Bender. Achilles' pronouns are O and Jellies.
Yeah, I actually...
Jelly.
I'm Bender. I've never been here before. I suck.
Don't put yourself down. Don't put yourself down. You're doing fine. I've seen people with worse first showings.
Yeah.
Worst? What? Nah, this one takes cake. Anyway, I have no pronouns. Well, I guess he, him.
I have no pronouns.
Do not refer to me.
Do not.
But you've
I am
got
simply
all
but a
monopoly
ghost of your imagination.
I am not real. None of this is real. It's time for you to wake
It's all
up. You've been in the
insane
trouble for the last 5
It's all
years.
the Matrix.
Guys, the accident was not your fault.
You have to let me go.
Okay.
Okay, let's get this show rolling.
Speaking of accidents,
Tyler.
Me.
Alright, so I'm not really sure. I wasn't on the last podcast, and I don't remember when it was. So we're just going to go through everyone's derailments, I think, unless anyone has any objections.
I object.
Oh, you object? Okay.
I challenge you to a trading card versus.
Let's.
Oh, no.
Dang. Let's go. Chronological order.
Okay.
Go through all of this.
Judging by the time, these all should be on. So, first off, we have Bean Sniff, who hit a truck at a railroad crossing.
Chronological
order. Chronological. Okay, sorry. All
Yeah,
right,
like
so
by
I'm
dates.
pretty sure Canadian Pacific's derailment was well before the last podcast. That happened on 8/20. That's almost 2 months ago. If there hasn't been a podcast in the last 2 months, I'm going to be a little worried. And as well as Union
Podcast
Pacific's,
2 weeks.
that happened on 9/22, 9/20, and I'm pretty sure there was a podcast before that.
What was the accident or
But
delays?
the accident was... that was when they put the cop car on the tracks and the woman was in it. That one.
I have some opinions on that.
I think we all have opinions on that.
Podcast.
There was also a Kansas City Southern derailment on 9/14, but that was not linked, so I don't know what it was.
They flew into the moon.
They flew into the moon. We will henceforth refer to that derailment as them flying in the moon. Then on
KCS has pissed on the moon.
then
The hand
on,
of God had said KCS.
on September 24th, 4 were hospitalized, and after 2 freight trains collided in a CSX yard in Florida, in Miami. God forbid it wasn't in Miami. East, what the hell did you do?
Yeah, East. Our on-location reporter, what happened?
Huh? What? Huh?
We're talking about the CSX collision in Miami.
Oh, okay. I have pictures of this. Hold up.
Oh, no.
You didn't think to bring this up, like, before we were...
No, because I am totally in it right now. I just need to scroll down and find them.
He's jerking off.
As you can see, we planned
There
way
we
in
go.
advance. We knew what we were doing.
Yes, this is very clear. So, the 4316 and a pair of Gevos slammed into the back of some aggregate hoppers, which were loaded.
Yeah, that's
and
got some
because it
frame
was also,
damage.
It was also pulling an aggregate train. It was an unstoppable force hitting an immovable object, and unfortunately, the GP39 was the casualty.
Yeah. Good for 80 running on the main line.
Yes.
There's absolutely no frame damage. That thing is good for 100.
It's so badly damaged that they are scrapping it on spot.
Yeah.
That
Rip 4-axle power.
that'll do it.
Good for 120, send down Brightline.
And then on September 25th, as well as October 7th, but that's not linked. There was never an article. BNSF hit this dumb truck driver who decided that even though the train was literally like 100 feet away, he could make it across the crossing, and then his truck fucking stalled on the crossing. And spoiler alert, he did not make it across the crossing. But as you can see, he put on his seatbelt about 2 seconds before going across the crossing. So he was fine. And then also, a sinkhole.
The seatbelt did not hold him in.
Yeah,
But he was fine. It helped. It helped.
He didn't die, so...
He didn't die. And then also, this isn't a derailment, so actually I guess I can't really cover it. And
then...
that leaves Canadian National.
Can I talk about this
you
one?
can talk about this one.
Yeah, so in my goddamn backyard, Canadian National managed to put 16 cars on the ground on straight track, God knows how. And it's bad. I don't know how they managed to do this. There's not a switch there. It's just straight track.
Hey man, it happens. Someone accepted my follow request on Instagram and didn't follow me back.
Very, very predominantly important to this podcast, Julius. Thank you for that valuable information.
I had to say.
And then the most recent?
The most recent was Norfolk Southern. They kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
They derailed 10
Big time.
cars of a train as opposed to 10 cars of a car over a bridge in Sandusky, Ohio, sending tank cars and debris into the street below, blocking Amtrak, not Southwest Chief, Capital Limited, and Lakeshore Limited. Kind of
Southwest Chief
notably runs through Ohio.
Yeah, the Southwest Chief notably running through Ohio.
Yes.
Fortunately, those detours are
Again.
at night, so people won't notice them, but they're there.
Again, managed to put 10 cars on the ground on straight track without like any switches or anything nearby. So that's how you know the railroads are in great shape, folks, is when they put 10 cars on the ground on straight and level track.
But
That
also
just sounds
on
like a
a
labor
break.
does not contribute to profits moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
labor
if
does
labor
not
contributed to profits, the train crew simply would have stopped the derailment. So that means then that our current mantle of responsibility holder, CP, continues to hold the mantle of responsibility, because their last derailment was on the 20th of August, or at least that we know about. So maybe not. Maybe in reality it's like a Schrodinger's cat situation and they don't actually hold it, but as far as we know, they do. So
Yeah.
anyway, moving on. Anybody do anything cool lately? I personally
No.
have done nothing cool lately. I have been so busy with homework. Actually, that's a lie. I did do one thing, and it was your mom.
Outstanding.
You got me there.
You're not going to talk about the
Absolutely
heritage
amazing.
unit?
What hair? Oh, I did see I had an heritage unit, but that's kind of boring. That's
Yeah,
boring.
Julie's almost skipped class for
I
that
didn't
heritage
skip
unit.
class. I wasn't gonna skip class.
And then it got
Yeah.
canceled.
No, it was the class before that got canceled. It was my statics. It was statics.
Speaking of classes, so this past 2 weeks since I've been on the podcast, I have been pretty busy. I had 4 tests last week.
4 tests.
Yeah.
What the hell in?
4 tests. Oh, let's not. I don't want to give people a rundown of my civil engineering education on the pod, but
Do it, Ham.
Do it.
in that week, I managed to find the time to go hang out at a coffee shop by the train station while I studied. I saw a trunk and also one of the Smurf units. I also saw Go, but I don't know if I have a picture of that.
Oh, you're sending pictures? Oh.
Yeah, I sent one in the chat. It's a shitty picture because it was taken through the blinds on the window, but it's trunk. It's there.
It's there.
Rookie.
We've got to wait 20 minutes for it to load. College internet.
I have
It's there.
I have all been working slowly in Blender, chipping away at the boy that I've been working on for like 3 years now. I will have pictures of that shortly, but it's coming along slowly but surely. I feel like saying surely is sort of a misdirect here. In other news, Amtrak managed to run such an awful service between Pontiac and Chicago on Friday that people were literally fleeing the train halfway through. It was without electricity or flushing toilets for hours at several points throughout the journey due to various issues, including being sidelined by freight, being sidelined by mechanical issues with the locomotive, and at one point a medical emergency on the train. So yeah, it managed to be like 19 hours late.
Yeah, I would understand if these people never wanted to ride Amtrak again, and frankly, if Amtrak's got to get their shit together, or because there's no excuse for that to happen, like none.
Every railroad needs to get their shit together. No railroad is doing fine.
Okay, every road needs to
Actually, the FTC is doing pretty good.
Oh, no Class 1 is doing fine. Amtrak is also not doing fine.
I mean,
perfect.
CS isn't doing bad.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to take that Amtrak trip. Maybe it's not worth the time.
Speaking of
Empire Builder.
Amtrak, is Ellis still on Amtrak or is
No, Ellis is already there.
He's already there. Finally, tomorrow for Canadian Thanksgiving, the Waterloo Central Railway will be running their steam locomotive Essex Terminal Railway number 9 in 060. It has been down since 2020 for a 2-year refit and a 10-year boiler inspection. They ran it earlier this year for test runs and sent it back into the shop to work out some of the kinks, but now it is back and they will be running steam excursions
You kink shaming?
tomorrow, Monday the 10th.
I'm sorry.
At noon and 2 p.m. Come out and see it. I might, because I'll be here. So yeah, give them your money.
We love Steam.
We love Steam. It's a nice little guy.
I do have one thing.
Yes.
If you guys want to check out some of the Rio Grande's employee magazine, I believe it's called the Green Light or something like that. Us friendos here at the Western Crossroads Railway Museum that you probably haven't heard of, most definitely haven't heard of, have been working on digitizing them, and I believe they're available on our website. Maybe. I think so. If not, they will be
They
soon.
had a Josh for me.
Because Josh is cool. So Josh is a cool dude. So hopefully they'll be on the website soon. I can see them because I'm in the Discord, but you can't yet. So
I have sent the image of my blenderisms.
oh,
It's a cute dude.
the cute dude. Quote, unquote.
I'm slowly working on it. Promise.
Yeah.
This is the cute dude.
Lies.
It's the boy.
We should never do another morning podcast.
No, I'm way too tired.
Yeah.
I can't believe we said last night, hey, we're gonna do this at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and like 2 of you did not bother at all. You woke up at 11, not ready at all to do this.
All
right, Tyler,
I did not anticipate that I would sleep until 8, going to bed at 10 o'clock.
So
right.
Blender.
All right, Tyler, what did you do?
Blender as well.
Yes.
Tyler
Because,
has
yes.
dedicated his life and soul to Blender.
Wait, you think I have a soul?
I would hope so. So this is what Tyler's working on for those on the podcast.
So there is I'm updating my Cook Mogul model. Essentially, is what's happening.
Nice rivets, bro.
Thank you. The problem is the Cook Moguls themselves, the erecting cards don't exist anymore, but the ones for the consolidations and the order of Moguls to Texas survive. So I'm basically just playing smash all of this stuff together, and hopefully we get something that works based on the CNS folios too. The other stuff that I've done so far is lots of transit, because
Hashtag
having
support the
Transit
good
so
things.
bad.
is amazing.
There's a
and
tender.
you all should vote for light rail and
Based.
streetcars.
Based. I
And
mean,
also-
Arizona streetcars kind of suck booty, but
No, you haven't ridden a heavy streetcar yet. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, actually, that really sucks booty.
well, I mean, I'm not saying they suck booty. They suck booty because no one's invested in them.
Well,
Yeah.
The issue to not having enough transit is more transit.
Yeah.
When Ogilvy sucks booty, it's cool. When the streetcars suck booty, it's not.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically, literally.
yeah. Have a
I beg to
slightly
differ.
bad photo of Tempe Station from the streetcar.
Simply
As well,
restore
I
it.
might have to.
Simply restore.
Well,
Hashtag
that's-
restore it and run it
that's-
on the main line.
That's kind of the plan. Is they're gonna restore it and then build like a huge shopping center right around it.
Obviously.
It's weird. I might have an excuse to go down to Phoenix to the trolley museum there soon enough, but
East, you want to talk
Besides
about
that,
these models?
Yes, I went to the club.
You went to a strip club, dude? Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Strip club.
I stripped so many models of parts on accident.
I use so much paint stripper, bro. I'm gonna have this cool unlettered model now.
I used so much paint stripper, I think I accidentally got high.
Why Norfolk and
yeah,
Western?
I was about to say that.
That's not mine.
Oh.
I'm obviously the Santa Fe engines.
I guess it's weirder to have Santa Fe in Florida than Norfolk Southern, Norfolk Western in Florida.
Well, also, if you look in the back, you have CSX, GM, and FEC.
Yeah.
Only one
Really,
of
it's
those makes
prototypical.
true sense.
It's very prototypical. Because as you know, CSX and Norfolk and Western were clearly existing at the same time.
East, is that a Mikado? Or a mountain?
It is actually your mama.
Oh,
It's a Mikado.
okay.
It's
You're
the
removed. You're
BLI.
kicked off the podcast. Goodbye.
Bet I'm gonna go take a nap then.
No, wait. Oh,
You He actually left.
You see, we're great at this.
You children.
Fantastic.
All right, Bender, our poor guest. What did you get up to?
So, sad news is really haven't been out in out in my area in a good year. I can tell you lots of things that have happened between then and now, but I can also dig up some information here and there. So, most recent maybe there was some highway construction out here on, I forget what road it is, one of the U.S. routes. It goes between Courier Lane and Lewiston.
Oh, that's right. You're from Idaho, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Idaho.
I'm in Idaho, I'm in the part of Idaho which is like 2 miles from the Washington border, which makes it really easy to do everything around here. Anyway, they were expanding the highway on that direction. I know, but the highway goes from 4-lane to 2-lane to 4-lane to 2-lane constantly because stupid. And up in Potlatch, near Potlatch, which is a town you may have heard me talk about several times, they have this really cool bridge over the former Washington, Idaho, and Montana, which is, I don't really have any pictures of it, but it's got that nice old style to it. I was concerned if they were going to renovate that or not, but it seems like they're widening the highway next to it or after. It looks like they're actually shoring up the bridge, but they may modernize it. Either way, this means that to get the highway around it, they kind of had to dump a bunch of dirt over the inactive railway.
Sad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming back, but I mean, it might. It might.
Run it on the main line.
Restore
We
it.
can hope. Restore the main line.
Restore the main line.
I don't know.
Speaking of not restoring it, I also
Don't cut off our guest.
no. It's a good transition.
It was not a good transition.
It
Your
was a
mom
bad
was a good
transition and you
transition.
cut off the guest. Bender, what were you gonna say?
I do have some other news out here. So the SGMA, which is a short line that picked up from the Milwaukee Road, it runs a very sizable portion of the Milwaukee Road Transcon between St. Marie's, Idaho, and Plummer, Idaho. It used to run also between Avery, Idaho, and St. Marie's, but apparently the Forest Service condemned that in 1985 for their own reasons. They run most of their trackage actually comes from their route down their logging route down through to Bovell, formerly Elk River, where they would connect with the former WNM.
Oh my god, there's an all CSX consist on the cam.
EM.
Would you guys stop talking over the guest?
I had to point out.
So this railroad has been running only Milwaukee power since its inception, which is 2 SW1200s and GP9s, which got chop nosed. I'm assuming by St. Marie. Anyway, as recently as December of last year, I believe, there was a McLeod River SD38, which was confirmed on photo to have a new STMA mark on it. Like they took out some things and spray painted it on there. And also on recent satellite imagery, possibly some former Union Pacific, like GEs. Not sure what their model is. I haven't been down there enough to know what they are. It's not easy to get street view of it. But, most recently, I feel like probably the most relevant thing is we do actually have multiple museums out here, however small, and they're doing a lot of things. So, one of these is in Pullman, the town over. One of these is in Potlatch. The other is in nowhere near me. So, the one in Pullman, most recently, they have 2 depots there, one of which is a bank, and the other is still a depot. They had a bunch of passenger cars outside and a caboose. They decided they were going to remove all of them so the front of the depot could actually be opened up again to the public.
That's
very
cool.
It's very nice.
We love depot museums.
And it's not like there was ever a shortage of passenger cars either. They had the man, I really suck at this.
You're good.
You're good.
Have you listened to any of these guys? You're fine.
Fair. The other railroad museum in Washington, which is much bigger than any of the ones down where I am, they have multiple locomotives and actually a lot of passenger cars. I'm assuming that's possibly where the ones out front of the depot went, but I'm not sure. They didn't remove all of them, but just some of them.
Right.
I was trying to see if I can get some good pictures here, because I know I went to their website. Yes, there it is. A lot of the railways out here are very interesting stories if you're willing to look into them.
And I find that's how most short lines be,
Not even short lines out here. It was all class ones. You had 2 class ones, one short line that became a class one, and then another class one that became short line, and then class one again, and then got absorbed into a class one. They all went their own way out here.
Nice.
And then they all got abandoned in like the 1980s, 1990s because there was too much competition. Unsurprisingly. Let's see.
My shoulder hurts, just so you all are aware.
My back
I
hurts.
agree with that.
Because I went race karting yesterday, which was fun.
Here's a photo of the depot from eons back. They had a little Forney here that didn't belong. That actually got whisked away years ago.
It's horrible.
I know,
It's
but
just,
it's
oh, oops! I probably should show it. It's disgusting.
Ew.
That's
supposedly
horrid.
it's in a better place now.
Hell, where it
Hell?
belongs.
Yeah. Chili's. Shake hands.
Let's make out.
Yeah.
Danger.
What?
This is so not okay.
Yeah.
Please tell me this thing is a stat page.
I don't know if it did, but I think I found where it came from. Apparently, it's Home Railroad.
Did they just like take...
It's the what?
You're going to Brazil?
You're going to Brazil.
The home maybe?
I'm just looking at the
fucking-
cab size in the first photo. And did they just steal those off
The
the church?
I have no idea.
Hom Road Railroad?
The Homily Railroad, because they stole the cab from a church.
Yeah, the cab is a church. You can find a picture. There's just a crucifix hanging up in there.
Yes.
That's the throttle. The throttle is a crucifix.
I was going to make a Firefox joke, but I probably shouldn't.
The Mountain Home?
They do actually have recent news over
Oh,
here
it's
as well.
Mountain Home Railroad, I'm pretty sure.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because it looks like I'm looking at this stock image, and it's a view of the abandoned railroad along Mountain Home Road in the Cascades in the fall above Leavenworth in eastern Washington.
I feel like that's different because it doesn't.
This
I don't
is
think-
definitely standard gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
looks.
looks 15-inch.
That's a very cool railway. Oh, it's also a Davenport.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. Fuck me, that I'm talking stupid.
Blah blah. Pearl Harbor.
It's actually
Blah,
the water
blah,
tank is
blah.
very interesting on that side.
I hate it. I want it dead.
Blah blah. Pearl Harbor.
Why is that the location chosen for the compressor?
Good question.
How to fit your 8-inch pump in.
What state is this located in?
Well, it was in Washington. It might still be in Washington. They removed it before even I got here. In fact, I have another picture of it being whisked away to Brazil again,
We're going
right outside of the depot.
Inland NW Railroad Museum?
Oh, the worst part
Is that where it ended up? Probably.
looks like it was built as a 40 is the worst part.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. I hate it.
It's weird, I know, but I'm kind of interested to learn more about it someday. Anyway,
Yeah.
at some point they removed that, which is before I moved out here 2 years ago. And most recently the passenger car directly behind that, they removed that, possibly another one, just to open up the front of the depot to make it look better, to make it more appealing. Because you can't, as nice as that looks from like a railroader perspective, you can't see anything. The entire front, it's non-visible, which makes it really kind of a pain, especially if you're going to work. If you're going to put all that work into restoring the depot, you want people to see it, not just the crumbling old railway cars outside.
Yeah.
For instance, they're doing a lot of work on the masonry right now. And the roof.
East, did you have other local service you wanted to talk about before we wrap up the segment?
Two things. I want to go see the C6 wreck, obviously.
Outstanding.
And now I want to find out what happened to this engine.
Yeah.
Because it's not listed on the Steam local page. Like, not even in the surviving examples list.
It might be in Canada. I think it got moved to Canada.
Good.
Good.
We have stolen it. It is ours now.
It's
we
yours
will
now,
destroy it.
So, there's a very funny surviving example of a 044, and it is the standard gauge NYE number 119. Its status is buried under the intersection of US 301 and US 186 in Galesburg, North Carolina.
Amazing.
And it was buried in 1933.
Dig it up.
It's just buried under an intersection. Like, what?
Leave it buried. Leave it buried.
Let sleeping dogs
Don't play the ancient games.
Leave it buried.
Please leave it buried. Please.
It is ghosts. It's it's the mole people's locomotive now. We can't touch it. All right. Well, is that everything? Anybody else have more local service to add?
No. Which means
ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the one, the only, the locomotive versus.
That was so. Guys, come on.
I intentionally didn't do it that way. Well,
that sounds like a skill issue.
Issue.
Sounds like you're just a bitch. Is what that sounds like.
I don't feel like deep throwing my microphone at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh no! Did I make this meme? I feel like I made this meme.
You did make this meme. You made this meme the day of.
Outstanding.
All right. You share this on the podcast.
So,
why is the SRNRL called the Eustace Franklin Megantic?
Because that was the previous road.
Early railroad names are whack.
Because
also,
the SRNRL was a conglomeration of like 6 different 2-foot railroads around the Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes area, consolidated into one railroad.
So, remind me what this locomotive versus is.
So, Bender, would you like to introduce your locomotive?
Yes, it is the Great Northern J1, which is a very funny prairie. It's weird.
So, on the left-hand side...
It's adorable, except for that smoke bar. Fire. Man, thank you, Brave.
They... For some reason, in like 1905, all the hill lines decided they wanted to buy 1 million prairies.
And what is it playing? That's the big question: is who is playing and what is it?
I take back everything I said about this engine. I hate it.
Bender is playing as the Great Northern Prairie.
The Great Northern. And then who is playing against him and what locomotive? I don't think we fully worked this out.
I will be going against him in Frisco 1026, which is a Pacific part of the Frisco 1015 class. Let me get the image. Discord's misbehaving. I believe this picture is of it post-rebuild condition, maybe?
I think so.
Hold on, let me get a closer look. No, I don't believe it.
And then do you have the link to the stat page?
Tyler, what valve gear does that look like to you?
Do you really want me to say that with?
No, it to me.
I can tell what it is. I could tell you what it is too.
What is it?
All right, then say it. What is it?
I feel like it's Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
agree, which means I agree, which means this would be at post rebuild because it was delivered with wall shirt.
Why would you change from Walshirt to Baker?
Better.
Because Baker is
better.
Baker
thought
only
Walshirt was
has
No.
no, Baker's better because wall charts with the Union Link, how that moves, you're gonna have uneven wear, whereas Baker all you have is pin joints, and those just wear a little bit easier, so it's kind of
Also,
When
Baker's
Google-
is based.
Precision scale GN-J1.
God damn it.
Almost like every picture is either a Q2 or a GP30.
So,
It was not
Bender in Great Northern 1506, and me in Frisco 1026.
I might
I put it to
I might
my
have
other
to do this
host.
podcast from my phone and just join the call for reasons.
Well, why?
Long story. But
We have time.
we'll see. We gotta be quick.
Hurry up. Tell us what it is.
No,
What's the
I don't
story?
want to. I don't want to tell the story.
Tell.
The more you guys stall, the longer this
Please
is
don't
going to
make me
take.
tell
So
the
I
story
put it.
because you're gonna laugh at me.
Guys, we're recording
Okay. Anyway, all right. On the left-hand corner, we have Great Northern J1/J2 class represented by Bender, and the Frisco 10 Pristine class locomotive 1026 represented by Hemlock. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Actually, it's just ham and gentlemen.
Yeah, I've been saying that. I'm asking which one of us goes first. That's
Bender.
your job
Yeah.
as the other host.
Bender. I'm saying Bender, so Bender goes first.
okay. Bender.
Because it's green. That's
Achilles.
about where it ends.
Achilles, you're the only one here that's a regular cast member of the
I'm gonna be
podcast.
honest.
How are you having the most trouble
I'm gonna be
understanding
honest.
how this shit
I'm gonna
works?
be honest. I
I
never
pushed
pay
it
attention
through
in this
no.
section. I
Guys,
don't
focus
do
on the
local
game.
voices.
The solution, we coo O'Gillies, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Bender,
Number-
take your call.
Number built.
Don't have it.
Okay.
How do you not?
Because
That's
the rebuilds don't have number build.
Do you not
Okay,
know how many
automatic
were rebuilt?
point.
No, I don't, I guess.
If
Num-
I thought if the stat didn't happen, you didn't get a point. Nobody got a point.
No, you don't. Yeah, in Locomotive Versus, if the person doesn't have a
Yeah.
stat, you just call a different stat.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll go to the one number in class.
25.
150.
Yep.
Okay, 1 point to Great Northern.
Okay. Now it's time to figure out how I did good in this thing. Robert Lee Messina's power computation.
That's the wrong locomotive. Robert Lamessina's power computation, 10,180.
11,372.
Unfortunate.
Vector of adhesion?
Oh no. 3.66.
Oh.
4.02.
Great.
Whoa.
Minimum rate of rail.
81 pounds per yard.
Oh, damn, 84.
Yes. Okay. Oh Christ, what
3 to
can I
1?
win with this? Oh no.
Do you see how it was so hard now?
Valve gear.
Wally
Baker.
Cool.
based.
Baster.
3 to 2.
Year built.
1906.
All right. I do not have an exact date on year built for these, but they were delivered in 1910 and rebuilt in the 20s. So that means I do win.
You still
Yeah.
would still win in that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the exact year, but we can reasonably infer it was after you. So. Hmm. High pressure cylinders.
22 by 30.
24 by 28. Damn it.
Alright, we gotta get out the thing.
We gotta get out the thing.
The
Aw.
thing.
Let's go find it.
It's
Let
pinned in the
me.
thing.
Blank stat sheet. Tools. I've got the tool spreadsheet open. Does anyone need the link?
I got it.
All right, plug it in, folks. Diameter, stroke, number. You have free cylinders, right?
Yes.
All right, so that
All
is
right.
a point to Hem.
I've done it. We're
Hem
gaming.
is now up by 1 point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Reversal of fortunes.
Woo. I almost want to call you have slide valves and you were built in 1906. So I'm almost not sure if you were even so you had to be superheated, right? Superheating surface.
don't have that.
Okay, so does that mean you just weren't superheated is the question.
That was superheated later.
So as built you did not have a superheater?
Yep.
Then I would get that point.
Yep.
Would you actually wait? Hold on.
Yes,
Because it'd be
because
0.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
It's
right.
not a point
If-
there. It's like you don't have it. It's something that it's literally you are at 0.
That's right. Some things are
Right.
uncallable, and some things just get a 0 added to them because
Right.
that makes a lot more sense.
Since you didn't have a superheater it's assumed to be 0. If you were built in like 1920 and it can be reasonably and it can't, nobody is sure if you were built with a superheater. Like if we can't reasonably infer a 0, then yeah, I would be unable to call that. But since we know you weren't superheated, that just counts as 0.
Right.
Yeah.
Combined heating surface.
3, 4, 8, 9.
3510.
Ooh, but it's
Not a
weird.
lot, huh?
Same as above plus superheater percentage.
11, 372.
12,114.
That's close.
Yeah, it's the superheater that made the difference. That's a gamble. Why does only one of these have axle loading? That's weird.
Funny.
Let's go with boiler pressure.
210.
200 shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but
now 7-4.
Oh no.
just to make it clear, you don't have axle loading, do you?
No.
Good. I won't call that then.
I'm assuming you do.
Yes. In fact, all of the prairies on this page have axle loading.
That's
Magic.
Suffering.
Okay, I'm going to interject. If someone wants to take over the audio recording, that would be great.
Bruh.
we're an
Chili's.
hour in.
Oh, Chili's, you've got to be kidding me.
That's fine. I'll just cancel. It's fine. Something happened. I just tell them I can't make it. It's fine.
Bruh.
We've been planning to do this for like several weeks at this point.
Yeah.
My God.
This is
Just
a certified.
It's something that just came up, and it's kind of important, but
Okay, is it an emergency?
it's not an emergency. So that's fine.
Okay,
Maybe-
It's fine. I shouldn't have said I was available Sunday.
Okay. Well, let's just
Okay, it's locomotive
We'll
versus.
cut that part out.
Bender, I'm sorry about us clowns. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Don't worry. I just like to let people talk. Wait on drivers.
Wait on drivers. 145,500.
151.
Okay, that's a point
I
to
win.
them. 8-4
Oh.
now. There's 8 points left till style.
Was he using? He might have been using the streamlined one last time.
Yeah, that might make sense.
That would
Because
explain some
that's-
of the differences I'm having here.
Right, because I'm just using the unstreamlined rebuild, and the streamlined version is 153,700. So
Yeah,
engine weight
209,000.
225,500. Here's your ball back.
Thank you. Tender loaded weight
151,800.
148,200.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Total engine and tender weight
377,300.
357,200.
It's 20 points to go to style points.
Yeah, it has to be at 20 to go to style, so
Yep.
we're 5 points from style points.
Fun.
Oh, and judge's choice. We do judge's choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can never remember.
Don't worry, I can.
He remembers
Engine
it, so you don't have to.
Yes.
Engine wheelbase.
Engine wheelbase. Let me find it. I'm a clown. Engine wheelbase. 32.75.
30.75.
Bitch.
Okay, tied up 8-8.
Overall wheelbase.
Overall wheelbase 64.72.
63.67.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, good question here. I got a good one. Evaporative heating surface.
Evaporative heating surface. God damn it.
Ooh.
280, 2831.
3489.
Damn.
Right, because all of yours is saturated instead of
Tube.
superheated.
In fact, tubes.
180 at 2-inch.
301 at 2 1/4.
Damn.
I win.
All right. Yep.
I win because my tubes are smaller.
Tube.
That feels like a gamble. All of these feel like gambles. Tractive effort.
37,563.
39,736.
Damn it, we're tied
All
up.
right. It is 10-10, and 20 points are on the board. If you want to go to style, you can call now.
Going to style points with a tie would be interesting.
I kind of want to see what would happen. You guys should tell a tie.
Hmm. I'm thinking, I'm thinking if there's any obvious ones I can win. Great area.
5415.
5090. Shit.
You want to call?
What?
Do you want to call style points? Do you want to call it?
Would you like to go to style points or continue saying stats?
I think we should go to style points.
All right.
Okay.
Going into style points 11-10,
Wait.
and judge's choice.
Yeah.
Local base idea. That's always just a gamble.
I hate you.
I think
All right,
that Bender should get a point.
Rebuild. Ooh.
Bender should get a point because of the most based headlight position ever.
We're doing
No,
judge's
we're not
choice.
doing that yet.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that yet.
Jillies,
Well, normally we do the other one first. Judge's
what-
choice
no,
always
you
comes
do
last.
No,
No.
judge's choice always comes
Judge's-
before style
No, it doesn't.
points.
Because you
Yes,
can't.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
First.
I am 100%
Jillies,
sure
you're
it
literally
doesn't.
the one who earlier said that you don't pay attention to this segment. You don't have a say here.
I do pay attention to this part because
Either
I always.
way, you're outvoted.
Yeah, you are outvoted, or Jillies. You are
Jillies,
getting.
Do you mean
You're
judge's
outvoted,
choice in
you're getting
preferring which
outvoted.
locomotive they want or stats?
No,
Oh,
stats.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
stats.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
You
You're right.
Okay. Anyhow, back to loco base ID, please.
I am 5388.
Okay.
8632.
Those were
Alright,
both
that's a-
extremely high.
That's a
Oh,
point.
as
to
delivered
Greg
is in the
Norman.
13,000s.
That's even worse.
Let's see here. What do we want to do? Done all those. Done those.
You could call Power MT.
Sure, you know what? I'll throw you a bone. Power MT.
36403.
71402.
714.
That's really good.
So that's
Yeah.
point to Frisco.
Did we call minimum weight of rail?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought so.
On the board is same as above, but substitute firebox area for grade area. Power L1. Evaporative heating.
Same as
surface
above, but
divided
substitute firebox area for grade area.
Oh boy.
44262.
5932.
Damn.
Or Julius did really just say, I'll pick whichever stat him says first.
I
Can
mean,
we
no, you
can we
can't
run
go
this through again? Just make sure. Say your two numbers again.
44262.
Okay.
5932.
Tied
All
up.
right.
Oh.
So that'd be Frisky.
Yeah, that would be the Frisco.
That does sound like
Okay.
the bigger number.
Yes.
Great. So we are tied going into style point.
We've done it, folks.
All right.
This chaos is getting even better.
I have piston valves instead of slide valves.
I have
That's
a
the point.
Belpaire firebox and you don't.
Fair point.
I was told that was a point by the man
Yeah.
himself.
Ellis
Yeah.
is counting that as a point.
Okay.
So it's
I
still
was
tied up.
rebuilt with streamlining.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was rebuilt into a Pacific
What the fuck?
Still
Why?
14-14.
because they could be.
I had
No.
one. I had a smoke light.
That's a point.
That is a
yeah.
point.
That's
Bender has a stat cap.
Yep,
Does
that's a
Bender have a
point.
stack cap actually?
Yep,
Yep,
on
he
his
does.
model.
I can see it.
On the model. That's right. I
okay,
also have
okay.
models.
I would be surprised if the Frisco doesn't have a model.
I do not.
I don't think it did.
I found a model of the. Yeah, there is. I found a model of the 1025, but I don't know if this was a mass-produced run or a custom.
Well,
Send it.
Well, is there more than one
The-
picture of it?
the
It's
Great Northern one is a brass run, so
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
that
have
still
a-
beats none or one off.
well,
They're both-
that's the same. So it's a no-show.
Yep, no point.
Well, a brass could be mass produced though.
Yeah, but both brasses seem to be in about the same numbers. Is what I'm
Right.
seeing because that's a sunset. That
Uh,
should be about 1,000 or so.
I think the Great Northern things were multi-fuel. Probably got converted to coal to oil. I don't know if the Frisco things were coal-fired and then oil-fired.
Do any of you have polling pockets? People do.
The Frisco thing certainly does.
Yeah, Frisco does.
Yeah.
If you can get me another... I don't think we can tell on the GN thing.
So I have a bunch of pictures. Actually, I don't think the
Does one of
pilots
the
could
Great
physically
Northern things
support-
survive?
No. If they
Oh.
did, they would
Ooh,
be a Pacific.
Does he have...
The Pacific survive.
I don't
I don't
see
I
polling
don't think
pockets.
it's like a weird frame structure. I mean,
It looks like the Frisco ones would be multi-fuel.
I think
I'm not sure.
Hemlock gets a point for polling pockets.
I think so.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if the tenders had them, but I don't have the pictures on me to tell.
I'm just looking at the
The
model.
GN one does have a really cool headlight position, and that's the best
Yes.
headlight
No.
position ever.
No, we're not
No.
doing headlight
Base
position points.
position.
It is not. You are both incorrect.
We are not doing points for that.
Yes, we are.
Visually.
Yes, we are. It's unique.
No, we're not.
It's unique.
No, we're not.
We're not
No, we're not.
not doing that.
Please, you gave up all power you have during the segment when you said you don't care about it.
I didn't say I didn't
Yeah.
care
So,
about it. I just don't watch it.
I will say though, these were green.
Ooh, yeah.
It was
Yes.
green.
Yeah, you get the fancy paint point, and then I guess do we want to give him half a point for the fancy lining?
That's a full point. Would it not be?
No.
Oh.
No,
Well,
when you
no,
compare
because
to
the paint, you give him a full point for the.
green,
You give him a full point for the paint because he is the better paint, but I get a point above him for streamlining. So that's how
Did
that
we
works.
count
I would
streamlining
think.
as a point?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Julie is saying he wants headlight position to be a style point while not knowing that streamlining is a style
Well,
point.
I did know that. I just wasn't. I meant had we counted it in the points yet.
You have cab doors.
So I'm just gonna.
I think I also have cab doors.
You have
Yeah,
cab
you
doors?
both have doors.
Yep. Neither of you have an
Yeah.
all-weather cab.
That's sad.
Do I power reverse or no?
Bender has a ladder on the smoke box
Believe you.
or firebox.
What? Oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
You do.
That's not a
But
style point. I'm just pointing
Hem
it
has
out.
steps. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
point that out as well. Hem also has the larger sunshades.
Okay, but if they both have sunshades,
And
then
it doesn't matter.
That's still
Right,
Yeah.
but my sunshades are more gooder.
Mo
Well,
Yeah,
better.
more
when you're-
gooder, more gooder.
better.
We like
when you run through the Pacific Northwest, I don't think you need sunshades.
Yeah.
What else? Do you both have lighted class lights? Looks
Yes.
like it.
yeah, they
Yeah.
all have markers.
Did we
Um,
do
why did I
the
post that one
smoke light
twice?
yet?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you did.
Right.
Both of you don't
Did
have
you
air
have-
ringers.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's what I was about to bring up. I don't know anything about these.
We both have
Um,
electricity, so
Yeah, you both have electricity.
I'm gonna be
And
real with you.
what
And the
else?
only thing I don't know is where in the heck they put the compressors at.
Oh, well, your compressor's on the
And
side.
his compressors
Is
are
that
on
what
the,
it
or their
is?
compressors on the
It's a
side.
really
Sorry,
wacky compressor. I mistook.
Can I get-
Yeah,
I
I think that's a New York Air Company one.
Yeah.
Can I get a
You-
point for that little step I have mounted onto the valve gear, or I would presume maintenance?
Where?
I think that's part of Baker, actually.
That's-
No.
Is it
Here
not?
it is. It's on the picture I sent, but here it is at a better angle so you can more clearly see it. There's like a
Okay,
little
so-
step mounted to the valve gear so you
Yeah.
can like.
Oh, yeah,
step
that
up
should.
onto
That's a
it.
point.
Okay,
That's
good.
definitely
That
a
is
point.
actually maintenance.
Wow, you have a massive thing tied to your tender. Look at that. It's a big tube. Ooh.
I've seen the same thing on Seaboard Airline locomotives.
Yeah. I think I was oil looking at the tender. So
We were both oil.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're both oil, but
You-
I found a picture of Bender with the coal tender.
yeah. I was gonna say Bender said he had the conversion. So
And well, I've seen photos of because Frisco wasn't just oil, so we're not sure if that's 462. Have a
looking at it, he is one cross compound, but I have two single stages. So
Is that a cross compound?
Yeah,
You
but I
ha-
think
yeah.
it's a New York Air Company.
Wait, I mean,
yeah, you have a cross compound mounted on the fireman's side, but I have two single stages mounted on the fireman's side. So
I've
I
never
think
heard
that
of
was
this
a
air
wash.
company, so
I don't think there is. There anything else that there is?
Now, can
I
you
would
guys
say
think
we
of
could-
anything else?
We could
Um,
give a point for the Frisco plate up front, pure
Meh.
style, because like it is a more unique embossed plate. It's like a keystone, essentially.
I mean, I
Didn't
guess.
Ellis stop giving Keystone stat points though?
I think so.
I don't know, but at this point we're literally just.
I think that's it.
Oh well.
I kind of want the Great
I
Northern.
thought we were
thing
still
to
tied
win,
up.
but- Yeah, no, Great Northern's down by 2.
I don't know what I can pull out that would actually give this thing points, honestly.
Yeah, there's not really
I
much.
think we've hammered
Yeah.
down
If
everything.
only it had the tilting tender.
Oh god. Well, why did you need a tilting tender with oil?
Well, these were built as coal burners.
Okay, but you're bringing it in as an oil burner, and it's no.
Funny.
All right,
No.
I think that's
The Great
it.
Northern was lazy.
That's it.
You did it.
Show's over,
And
folks.
that's the game.
Votes.
All right, this has
Person
been
votes.
a wonderful podcast, everyone. We shall see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
No, we're not done yet. We have to do the discussion topics.
Well, you have to vote on which one you want. I'm gonna vote for the Frisco.
I will vote for Frisco as well.
I would vote for the Great Northern thing, but it's the headlights putting me off, so I'm voting for the Frisco.
Sad.
Outstanding.
All right.
Neither of you survived, so.
Discussion topics.
Great. Outstanding. Discussion topics time. Who wants to go
I
first?
will.
I feel like... Yeah.
So,
I feel like
Chem feels like.
mine is going to be the meatiest one. I feel like we should just save that for last and let you guys run through your smaller things first.
The elephant in the room.
all right. So the
Yeah.
elephant in the room, or should I say the elephant in Barstow? My topic today is BNSF Bangaing. With regards to expansion, and still promoting the fact that labor does not contribute to profits. So, BNSF the other day announced that they are going to expand build a major intermodal hub in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, I mean Barstow, California. Next to their already pretty massive Barstow classification yard. In order to alleviate traffic going down into the LA area and to relieve LA ports and LA intermodal facilities. Not really sure how, because that traffic still has to then just take the freeway to LA, but like, it's what they're doing.
But like, by the time they actually build this thing in 20 years, there's probably not going to be as much of an issue.
Oh, I see what they're doing. So they're going to be, instead of hauling trains directly out of the ports going west through Barstow, or going east through Barstow, they're running them to Barstow and then reclassifying them and then running them east. It just was announced, and whether or not this actually happens is kind of up for debate. But it's all going to be clean energy, clean, whether or not it happens or not. I mean, whether or not you think it'll happen, it's announced it's going to cost about a lot of money. It doesn't actually say, I don't think. It's around three billion probably when it'll all be said and done. And so the idea is...
And how much would it cost to electrify the entire network?
The dang
like
wires.
And the idea of this being
thing.
that it's going to be relieving intermodal congestion at San Bernardino, Hobart, and Long Beach. And this is the CAD image they drew of this like massive thing where it's like 150 gajillion intermodal tracks. The idea, like I say, being trains will come out from Hobart, from San Bernardino, and from Long Beach and get reclassified here in order to prevent congestion. And continuing on, the BNSF Banga, their MRL takeover is getting one step closer. Engineers ratified the implementation agreement to become BNSF employees. It is likely that the MRL will cease to exist as early as 2023. So probably sometime midsummer of next year, we'll see the MRL cease to exist. I mean, in some extent, the MRL kind of already has ceased to exist, considering they've kind of already started to integrate operations. But yeah,
I'm deeply sorry for the loss of your child, Agilus.
I know, I'm sad. I love the MRL.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm deeply sorry. You gotta keep going. You do it for her.
And yeah, that's BNSF Bangaing. BNSF is kind of being stupid with their Bangaing because they're not really announcing anything that makes sense. But anyway, moving on.
Speaking of things that don't make sense,
Hemlock.
Labor not contributing to profits.
okay. I guess we're doing this.
I kind of think we should get the big one out of the way.
All right,
Sure.
Speaking of things not making sense, remember everybody, labor does not contribute to profits. Now, I have gone, before the podcast, I went through each of these articles and wrote down the basic gist. So real quick, I'm going to do a lightning. So, the Machinists Union has a new tentative contract that they're going to vote on. The railroads continue to push for one-man crew. Say that is a bad idea and will get people killed.
Yeah.
The ATDA, which is the dispatchers union, has ratified their agreement with their members. Despite this, There's rumblings we may still be on track for a strike without sick leave or the repeal of these draconian attendance policies. From Trains Magazine, we have a piece talking about the opinion that railroads need to offer better pay and benefits to employees because they are currently hemorrhaging employees with very little in because it is an awful industry that will crush your soul. Shippers are clamoring that whether or not the unions ratify their contracts, they want railroads to improve service because the current service is garbage. Because the way PSR works is you basically do a magic trick to have less crews while making your service worse.
Basically.
The magic trick is that you make more money while making your service worse by eliminating the need for an extra crew, so now you don't have to pay as many crews. That is all that PSR does. So shippers desperately want railroads to improve service so they can keep using the goddamn railroad. Finally, and the one that I wanted to read an actual quote from the article on is the Smart Union president the Smart Union has made a statement to its members. The Smart Union president saying the decision for ratifying this agreement is ultimately in the hands of members.
Even though it's a shitty agreement.
Right.
Can I interject?
Quoting from the article.
Can I interject? Do you mind?
Let me read this quote first and then go ahead. Quoting from the article. As president of this union, I will not sell members on this tentative agreement. It is my responsibility and duty to provide you with factual information and allow you to make an educated choice based on the facts presented that serves you and your family's interests. Further, it would have been reckless of me to put your fate in the hands of politicians who know very little of the plight of a modern worker in today's PSR environment. Therefore, as it should be, the vote is now yours. No matter what your collective decision is, I will work to ensure it is heard and is acted upon.
Every railroader I've talked to has said this is a shitty agreement and they're voting no.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
This agreement is shit, and it gave the railroaders their big talking points, but the unions made so many concessions everywhere else that it's a piece of shit agreement, and I hope they vote no, and I hope we still have a strike.
Well, it didn't even give all of the...
And it didn't even give what the bare minimum for the railroad workers were. It's a horrible agreement. Which is like literally...
can we just end the ideas of stuff like high-vis? But no. For government, that should be upped individually between the railroads and the unions, and we're not going to get involved in that. It's like
it should be a state's right to decide whether or not they want to desegregate.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because we all know if we leave that up to the states, it will definitely happen quickly and it won't drag on years and
then result in a lot of people dying.
Not to compare racial segregation to poor working conditions. More to compare the idea that, well, it should be just left up to them to take care of it on their own is a coward's tactic because you know full well that they will not
take care of it on their own.
They will not take care of it on their own. An outside force to make them take care of it, or they just won't.
Also, Agilis, if you could please show this to the audience once it uploads. Remember, this is what can happen when you have one-man crews, which is what the railroads were pushing for.
Yes, that's what one of the articles brings up, is how Lac Megantic happened because, a
one-man crew.
One-man crews. That article also brings up... That article also features, interview with, actual railroaders. Like an actual railroader who says, if one-man crews happen, then, if the engineer has a medical emergency in the middle of nowhere, they're fucked. Nobody will know for hours.
Yeah. And the thing about that as well is this isn't like this is, nobody's pushing for it. The railroad specifically had, at least a few of the big ones, in their agreements were originally before the whole presidential board was that the pay raises that they kept on talking about, the 15, 20% over 10 years, would only happen if the conductors were out of the cab.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the asterisk on it. And none of the main media sources I saw brought that up. I think it was it in the Smart letter or if it was somewhere else.
Isn't the plot of the movie Unstoppable because of a one-man crew?
Yep.
No,
that was two.
plot
That
of
was
the
two. That was
movie-
two. That was two.
Oh, it was too? Okay.
No, yeah, that happened because the engineer hopped out of the cab, leaving the throttle under power. Wasn't because there was a one-man crew.
No, but I knew that because I thought there would be a second guy in the cab. But
Well, I mean, this doesn't. The Canadian National Hinton collision is actually why a one-man crew could be so dangerous. Because while it is not known exactly what happened to the cab CN train, because there's a voice recorder, and of course both men died in the accident, so we'll never truly know what happened. It's theorized that what happened was the conductor fell asleep and the engineer rigged the dead man's pedal, and then had a medical. Well, I can't remember if it was the conductor or the engineer, but they rigged the dead man's pedal, one fell asleep, and the other either also fell asleep.
Or had a medical
And-
emergency.
That's what I said,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
you cut out for me, so
Sorry.
you're good.
But yeah, both either fell asleep or one fell asleep and the other had a heart attack, some emergency. So, that is an example of the kind, like, we've had a catastrophic collision happen with two men in the crew because one had a medical emergency and the other was somehow indisposed. Like, taking another man out of the cab just increases the
It's
risk.
almost like we should have
and-
3 people in the cab at a bare minimum.
Right. And it's you could say, well, the solution is to like medically vet these people, make sure someone with heart problems is in the cab. But I don't think that's a viable solution because do you really want to reduce who you can grab as a railroad even more?
Additionally,
When we're
The
already
thing is,
facing such
you can still
horrific
have
staffing crisis.
a heart attack without having pre-known heart issues.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. You can't eliminate the risk. You can't eliminate the risk of someone having a medical emergency out on the line and the train crashing as a result without someone else alert and aware in the cab with them.
Yup.
Simply what we must do is develop all the technology in Gattaca
Yeah.
and have designer babies with no inherent genetical flaws.
No, that's scary. Please,
that
please,
shall
that's like
be-
my big fear. Please don't say that.
This article bothers me because it's like, rail workers don't believe one person crews are safe, but data from Europe shows a possible solution. Like, no, shut the fuck up. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
data from Europe also is like electrified and has good signaling systems. Actually, that's not that true. Germany has like
Yeah,
a major accident like every other day.
Yeah.
Speaking of Germany having accidents.
Yeah. All right.
Oopsie whoopsie.
Who wants to go next?
Do we want to go to Germany?
No one grabbed the Germany article, but
No
like
one grabbed
apparently the
Germany.
road was sabotaged.
Yeah, it's...
Bad.
mm.
You can read it yourself
But
if you in our Discord.
Before we move on, I'd like to wrap up. The whole situation is bad, and it's even more gross how politicians and major the moment that it wasn't threatening to cause a strike that would crater the economy, were like, oh well, the unions have all accepted the agreements. Good now, we did it.
We did
Did
it,
it.
guys.
When at the
It's-
moment there's still no material improve. The rail workers aren't experiencing any of these material improvements yet, and further, this isn't enough concessions. We averted a strike in the most literal sense of the strike is not actively happening because they managed to get the unions to go along with the tentative agreements, at least for now. But it hasn't actually solved the problem. It's at best kicked the can down the road for maybe a couple of years.
If even.
No,
I
it's
think
kicked
that's
the road.
for-
It kicked the can down the road 2 months because
Right.
that's when the votes will come back, and then if the votes are bad,
Which they will be.
then the
Right.
strike's going to happen.
I'm not saying I think it's going to take years for this to come to a head, but I'm saying even if like the railroaders accepted this tentative agreement and took the concessions that the railroads gave them, which is enough, this would work for like 2 years max because this doesn't solve the underlying problems. The problems have come home to roost, and this is just like putting a wall around the roost for a little.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
can't let him out. We can't let him out. We can't let him.
Mhm.
Like this does not solve the problems permanently. Even if the railroaders accepted these tentative agreements, we'd be right back here in another year or two, because this isn't enough. This doesn't fix the real problems. It just sort of placates them. We've put a band-aid over it, which means it's fine now.
Yep.
And politicians can celebrate we did it, Patrick, we saved the city just before people vote for them, and then right afterwards,
where's
House
that?
of Cards can crumble.
This is a friendly
Where's that
reminder
picture of?
to a couple of you that topics should be kind of on one thing. And
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay, O'Gillies, you've been doing so much for dictating the progress of this podcast.
But yeah, he brings up a good point, which is topics are supposed to be like one like unified thing. It's not just listing off articles.
yeah, I just
or
wanted
things.
to throw that out there.
Probably should have gone over that like an hour ago when we started the podcast. But yeah, this picture of George Bush in front of the Mission Accomplished banner, that's like Class 1 railroads right now on the Union Agreement.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Yeah,
Mission accomplished. We've done it.
Read the smart letter. It's great. That's like the most passive-aggressive thing in the universe, and all hail that Transportation Division president, because holy cow, that must be a bad job to have right about now.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next? Tyler.
All
I
right.
nominate you. Unless you have anything else to add, Hemlock, in which case, keep going.
No, I mean, the only thing I have to add is if you think labor doesn't contribute to profit, I hope you redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you
I hope you never get paid for a day of work in your life.
Yeah. Because your labor also
they're not getting paid for a day. I mean, the executives haven't been paid for a day of work in their life. They've been paid to sit around for their life, you know?
Yeah.
It's bold of you to imply that they are getting paid for a day of work already.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyler. What's Chorus 10?
So the world of Steam, we have some interesting developments. First of all, the Chorus Railway, which many of you know, built a new Kerr Stewart tattoo.
It's British.
Earlier?
I can't talk about it. I can't show it. Sorry, guys.
Now,
I'm just kidding.
That's not even...
to complete their set of rebuilding number 3 and 4, because the Talfin kind of just stole them a long time ago. They have built a new Falcon, and it was on display running at the open house for... I'm trying to think which builder this is. She still needs a little bit of work. See, she's missing couplings, needs insulation on the boiler, a few other things. But it's great to see another new build locomotive coming out. If any of you know Lori Goes Loco, he was there and got to run the locomotive, so expect a video on that soon from him.
Which is cool and sick. We love Lori.
Yeah. So this will be really interesting because it's going to be, I believe, the first time in close to 60, 80 years where both Falcon and Tattoo have been on the course running together.
Yeah, that's cool. I think these are I think that 2-foot 3-inch gauge is a gauge for clowns and babies who are too cowardly to go to 2-foot. But I do wish them the best. This is a cool little locomotive, and it's going to be real neat to see them come back together. It's real cool how many narrow gauge railroads there are in Great Britain, and it's real cool to see how much they actually get done. It's sick.
Yeah. It'll be especially neat, especially since the chorus just completed another extension similar to what the WWF recently did, where they're going further along on the historical grade. Not quite finished getting everywhere yet, but they have that new station with the traverser that they opened a few months ago. So
yay.
I think it's very, very fun tidings there. Nashville in the corner has raised
a lot of money,
$240,000 for the restoration of NC and SCL number 576, the Stripe, great. I don't believe that they are this year's Trains Magazine fundraiser. They might be, but I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of that. But it's great. They're coming along quite well. They've had a fair amount of work with getting some of the reversing gear set up, more boiler work, and just with more funds together, they can do more stuff faster. It'll be nice. See that back. Meanwhile, in Alaska, the slow burn project that was supposed to take about 2 years, that has now taken a little over 10, is very close to being finished. So they're closer. They're about $1,000 away from completing their $50,000 matching grant. And 557 was recently pulled out of the engine house that it's been sitting in I think, Anchorage for the past 12 years. So it got to see the sunlight for the first time. It's very, very beautiful work that they've done so far. It'll be interesting to see that done, because the idea was it's just going to run with the Alaska Railroad.
I like this locomotive,
excursions.
and I think it's really cool. My one gripe is the fact that the boiler door on the front of the locomotive is off-centered.
Yeah, that's to do with, if you see the bracket, that's where the air compressor is going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it has to be offset.
Okay.
It's like
that.
You know how
Are you guys cutting out, or are you guys just like really bad at talking?
I think we keep starting to talk, running into each other, and then stopping so the other one can go.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you know how a K28 looks, it's kind of like that. The door's off to one side because
that
they
makes
mount
me
the
feel better.
compressor
That
on the
makes me
front.
feel better.
Yeah.
This is something I'm really excited for. But
yeah.
Slips.
Something I'm really excited for is Brightline.
Okay. All right. I mean, he
Okay,
wasn't
but-
done, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
But
Yeah.
you know these sections don't go in order.
They do. You cover your topic, and then someone else covers
We've
it.
gone
Yeah.
O'Gillies,
But it's
Hemlock,
just
Tyler. How does that? That's not in order.
It's never been like that.
It goes in order because of how, like, with the restructuring of before it didn't, but now since it's
you don't just cut in with your own piece of news. You wait until someone else finishes their topic.
It's never been like that, but okay.
No,
Okay.
it has since they
It's
did
fine,
the
it's
topic
fine.
restructure.
Tyler, quickly say something about
anyhow.
slips.
Okay, so Chris Eden Green, we all know him, we all love him. It's finally finished doing the filming for Steam Locomotives in Profile in the USA. They're now available for order. They should be coming out around Christmas time. For US order, it's like $30-some bucks.
That's worth.
It's very much worth it. I had a bunch of friends that were helping Chris around here, so I was getting to hear all the great little things that he was doing. Fun thing to note, while it is only 10 classes that are covered right now, there is also a note there of bonus content
I think
to
they
be
reached,
announced.
I think they reached the funding goal to get a bonus episode.
Yeah, they reached the funding goal, and then there was the issue of CR number 3 wasn't available, so that's why they had to sub in Reading 2102.
Mm.
So I'm not sure exactly what all the bonus content is going to be. I have some ideas. I'm not going to share them because I know more than
What is
some
publicly
people.
available?
Inside
Yes.
information. Oh no.
I have the deets.
Tyler,
But anyhow-
Tyler,
Oh,
please
oops, I just
bless
accidentally
us with
pushed
your
it.
knowledge.
Watch
Tell us, spill the
the
tea.
trailer.
Spill the
It's
tea.
absolutely great. I love the music. Actually, go check out that band as well. Chris did some work with them a while back. And yeah, go buy this and go buy trading cards.
Anyway, East, since you rudely interrupted, I'm just kidding. What about Brightline?
Cool. But now I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right, Bender. What
What?
about
Just
you?
kidding.
All right,
Us?
Bender, what's going on with you?
Okay.
Okay, cool news. Good news if you were ever going to take the train to British Columbia again, because now you can. That's right, after it was shut down due to COVID,
Yay!
a long time ago. It's finally back.
Woohoo! The Cascades.
Yes,
Yay!
the Cascades from Seattle to Vancouver, British Columbia.
That's great. I love the Cascades.
We love
Favorite
Cascades.
Fleet Foxes song.
So,
yeah.
So as of whenever this article was made, September 25th, you will now be able to travel to and from Vancouver to Seattle. Although you will have to change trains in Seattle if you're going from Portland.
That kind of bothers me that you have to change trains in Seattle if you're going to keep going to
I
Portland.
didn't know you had to do that. If I'm honest.
That's fair. I've known you do. It just bothers me that you do.
So now you will have a daily round trip with 5 stops to and from Seattle and Vancouver.
I find it sad that the article uses a photo with the Talgo sets.
Womp
Rip
womp.
Talgos.
Oh, that hurts my feelings. That hurts me.
Soon to rip.
That hurts me.
Soon to rip. What is it? I forget.
Actually, nothing in that photo is still actively in use by Talgo. Well, they take that back. The cabbages are, but the Talgo Series 6 and the F-59s, the Talgo Series 6 have been scrapped, and
Oh, that's right. The F-59s.
and the F-59s are on Metra now.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they're all on Metra.
Oh, that's
I think
sad.
they bought Amtrak. They bought Amtrak's whole fleet of F-59s.
Have the F-59s been repainted yet? Or are they all
They're all repainted. Yeah.
Oh.
It would be fun to see Amtrak Cascades in Chicago.
They was for a little while. It happened for a minute.
That's amazing.
For a hot minute.
Oh, did they get the Heritage Unit scheme, or?
One of them did, I think. One of them's in CNW.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
that
the
one?
one that was at the photo thing with.
One of them's in the
Oh,
CNW.
I see what they were repainted in.
Oh, that's cool.
And it don't look terrible.
They brought the Sioux Line mic out for that.
That one. There we go.
All right.
Ah, it looks good. All right. Next is, if you live in or near Abilene, you've probably seen and or heard this big Wasatch mistake, which is Santa Fe
You
3415.
mean everything Wasatch?
This big Wasatch mistake. Wasatch mistake. Wasatch.
So this doesn't
Yeah, which
list a date. Well, this is one of the first ones, I think. Considering it was, rebuilt in the 90s?
Oh, it's the Santa Fe Pacific.
Oh, 2009. Yeah. So, it doesn't list a specific date, but at least as of early October or late September, Santa Fe 3415 has gone down for its 1472, quoting that it will be $350,000 of work. Specialists from the Durango and Silverton will be involved, so hopefully they'll fix things. And let's see, I have to find the quote here. Yeah. Although it only requires a complete safety check of the engine's boiler, the railroad plans to make other improvements to the engine that will further extend the antique locomotive's life. So they'll probably coat it in silver paint, throw it off a bridge, and build a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasatch.
The thing is, it's
Build
a bit
it
of
out
a
of-
mess.
Build it out of parts from only Home Depot, locally sourced from a small family business called Home Depot.
In my humble opinion, I would also like them to see, now I haven't been there, but I think I've heard that they only run at 15 miles an hour. And
Yeah, they only run at 15.
that's pretty sad for a Pacific with 8 79-inch drivers, so I hope they can also fix that, because even the WMSR runs faster than that, I think.
Yeah. Little River 110. I'm pretty
Well.
sure Little River 110 goes faster than that, and it's Little
think
River
it's
110.
It is smaller driver.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the smallest standard gauge Pacific ever built.
Next up is GWR 7027, or BR 7027, Thornbury Castle. It was recently purchased by somebody.
It was purchased by the Great Western Society, technically by the Night Owl Project, which is
So,
a separate entity under the GWS. It's a weird thing.
so they plan to rebuild it as a Night Owl, which was one of the most beastly freight locomotives on the Great Western system. I think it was the most.
Yeah,
It's either 280 or 480. I think a 280.
it was a 280.
they plan to rebuild Thornbury Castle with that using components from it. Since its entrance into preservation from very scrapyard condition, it is not run on the main line like so many others. And in fact, it has been used for parts before because a lot of its parts are also on Edgecombe Castle. If I'm saying that right. And
yes,
contrary to what this article says, because I looked it up, and although my source is from Wikipedia, it's also from somewhere on the Wayback Machine, from some website, where they claim in this Great Western Society article, Real Event, that they have no plans to build a new Star locomotive. This other article explicitly states what we intended was to detail our intention to recreate and operate a 1930s era Star Class 460 Express locomotive. So
that part is okay for a bit of explanation. The Star is not part of the county's plan or any of that. The Star was partially something that the Night Owl group had an idea for, because they're not really rebuilding Thornbury as a Night Owl. What they're doing is they're taking the Swindon Type 8 boiler from it and putting it on the Night Owl chassis that they've sort of built.
right.
And then the idea was to use the frames and the wheels and such to build the Star, because they have the other components there. GWS, which is the parent organization essentially, is the ones that have come out and said that they have no plans for a Star.
Okay. So the Star may still be in the works. But at the moment, they have a hold on the parts so that anybody who wishes to buy them can. So if you really wanted to, you could still rebuild Thornbury Castle with, I guess, a different boiler.
Yeah.
The idea is actually, I believe they will sell the boiler as well, potentially.
Oh.
The previous owner of Thornbury, the person who sold it to whatever road it was at, which is I think Severn Valley, has come out and said that he wants to buy the whole thing and do it. And so,
oh, that's sad.
because it essentially for Thornbury, how it's been going is after it got out of Barry, it's just been a slow process of it will be, partially restored, then go to the next owner, then to that. And it had a pretty good thing going at its last owner, and then the Night Owl guys came along and were just like, nice engine you've got there.
What if we turn it into something else completely?
Yeah, and what if we use the best part about this is it's the wrong boiler for a Night Owl.
Standing.
There are two types of boilers that they can use for a Night Owl, and then this is not one of those.
I kind of want to hear about the
Great.
slurg. What's the deal with the slurg? I mean, you don't have to stop. I just was saying, I was expressing that I want to hear about the slurg.
Oh, the slurg. So,
Again, if you're not done, you don't have to stop. I just was expressing that I wanted to hear about.
That was a very short article.
Yeah.
It was just saying yeah, we have plans. We might sell it again. Also, no Star. So, Omnitrax is to buy the St. Louis and Rio Grande.
Yay.
Well, they plan to, at least. Let's see. I hadn't really read into this one in depth. So, they've been trying to find a new operator for 2 years. Because
the railroad's horrible,
part of
and it sucks.
And their steam locomotives have been whisked away to another place.
Rip.
I think 1744 has as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's at Niles Canyon now.
There we go. See, it's at a better place. They're at better places now.
It's our discussion for another time.
Rip 18. Anyway, they've been trying to find a new operator for 2 years because Iowa Pacific died. And apparently, yeah, Omnitrax
rolling the dough.
They're going to buy it, I guess.
Money, money, money.
Loads of money.
So, they have to pay at least $5.75 million, said the bankruptcy court. So
that's pretty cheap for a railroad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, hey, how many people are there in the Horsemen?
20 something.
There's
That's too much.
30. I mean the server as a whole.
If
Let's
we all
do
chip in
200.
$1.
5 points.
No, it's like not that much.
There's like 100 people above fan rank at least. Like
We have 22
like
people.
120
If you
people
had
above
30,000
fan
a
rank.
person, you would be able
Yeah.
to afford the slurg.
Yeah, if everybody chips in like $50,000 more than a year's salary at most minimum wage jobs, then we can buy a railroad that will.
If you don't eat or live anywhere, congratulations.
You know, on the slurg.
No, you see, when you buy the road, you can just eat and live
Yeah.
on the road.
We eat the rust off the locomotives and live in the coach.
Well, that's why you need the. If you want to do that, you need that Southern Pacific business card that's been to 49 states. Just saying.
True.
God, yeah.
That thing is still somewhere.
Get it to Hawaii.
What about this E8?
Just eat a roadkill.
Oh, actually,
So,
wait. Does the slurg still run? Like, is there?
Uh,
is it like in receivership right now?
I think it's in receivership.
So it is. There are still trains on the slurg.
Maybe.
That doesn't matter.
Question.
It doesn't say if it's still running, it just says they've been looking for a new operator.
Oh, then it probably is running. If it's new operator.
Anyhow,
A funny E8 was just restored to former Pennsylvania Railroad condition.
Even though it's in Missouri.
Yep, 5898. Similar, I'm guessing similar restored to Milwaukee Road 32A, although I think that's an E9.
And it's in Missouri. For some reason.
Yeah. Why not? It was built in 1951 and was purchased from the RBMN, which, just restored. What was it?
2102.
Yep. So, I guess it has been in the process for 2 years. Oh. It's been in the process of restoration for 2 years, and it still has its two 567Cs as opposed to, say,
Based.
567Es, which are just
Or a single 645.
that too, which sucks.
Which is usually what
So-
they were replaced with.
It is now being run on the St. Louis, St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern, which is, quote, about 2 hours south of the St. Louis metropolitan area, and is part of a former Missouri Pacific line.
Yeah.
They have a cool video.
East,
I think it has an M5 or something on it.
It does. I can tell from the horn. That's an M5.
Based
East, would
M5,
you like
good.
to talk about Brightline?
Fine.
I
Brightline
don't sound
is.
so excited.
Actually, no, never mind. You don't get to talk about Brightline. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, I'm just feeling worse and worse. This cold is killing me.
I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But like,
Brightline is testing trains up to 110 miles an hour through St. Martin and St. Lucie counties,
that sounds.
which are on the east coast of Florida, and it's not grade separated.
Ah.
It is just on the FEC tracks. Like, this isn't the grade separated part. So, I cannot wait to see a car get dusted.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's not gonna be recognizable as a car afterward. Like they're gonna launch that thing into the Atlantic at speed.
Um,
The yeet.
yeah, and they also yeeted a person in North Miami.
Ah,
Nothing new there.
fine red mist.
What about the station? Is this the same station
Yeah.
they've been trying to get into for like years, and they built just a little bit too short?
Wow, good memory.
Is it
Yeah,
this
they
one?
built it a little too short, but then like 6 months later they made it long enough, and then Amtrak was like, "Well, now we don't want it." And they're like, "But we built it for you," and Amtrak was like,
That's
"Don't
crazy.
care."
I didn't ask.
Didn't
Fucking
ask,
L,
don't
L
care.
plus ratio plus bozo.
Yeah, eat
Yeah.
shit, bozo. Take the
But
L.
now Amtrak may come back into the station, which is going to be interesting because it's a terminus station,
So they'll have to back
which
in.
either means they're going to have to well, they can't back in because there's no Y.
Oh, so they'll have to back out.
So they have to either back. Well, here's the two things they can do. They can go into the yard, take the balloon loop, leave the yard and then back in 2 miles to the, or like 3 miles to the station, or they can go into the station and then just reverse 3 miles.
That's probably what they would do.
Or they can like put the Dash 8 to use and couple onto the back of the train and throw it out.
All right.
Or what they could do is they could just like
It's gonna be a
just
really
take
short
two
podcast.
P-42s. No, just take two P-42s coupled to the other end and just pull out the next day.
Yeah.
And then they take the two P-42s that were leading the train inbound and then take them to the yard at some point in between.
They'd probably do it with a Dash 8. They just send a Dash 8 down and pull it out, or keep a Dash 8 there and pull it out. Because you could say it's got a good
talking
pull
nonsense.
Yeah. And the other Florida-related news is the Seminole Gulf Railway is destroyed.
Damn.
It is killed.
Damn.
Where were you when Seminole Gulf was killed?
Yeah.
Probably at home.
2,500 miles away.
Rest in
A long
peace,
time away.
Bridge.
So Hurricane Ian absolutely devastated the road. It destroyed pretty much every bridge the road had, as well as dislocating much track and much of the embankment. The significant parts of the line is washed out, as well as destroying the entire locomotive shops. Like it is completely leveled. There is no locomotive shops left.
Damn. That
So it's
sucks.
just completely killed.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, so they estimate it's going to take 6 months
Probably longer.
to reopen, and the route is about 100 miles. And the road operates about 2,500 carloads annually.
Ouch. Ouch.
I don't think it's coming back from that.
It's probably not gonna come back from that. It's gonna be like that one railroad in Oregon, the Tillamook.
Rails to trails.
Well, I mean, they bought the line from CSX.
Well, CSS can buy it back and, like, win.
W.
Um.
Speaking of CSX,
Oh.
they
Okay. We're.
yeah, Copo Jillies. It's my part now.
Well, I mean.
You don't get to speak.
Okay.
You don't. No.
I mean, it's supposed to be related, but.
Cope. Yeah, CSX is bringing back the Santa train. For the children or something.
Yay!
Yeah.
Definitely not to hide the fact that they're scumbags.
And then other formerly, yeah. Well, hold up.
Oh my
In
god.
a road that made CSX, the T1 Trust now has drivers.
Yo, that's kind of cool.
Oh, the drivers got delivered.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty
This is
sick.
good. We like this.
We do like.
Oh
this.
yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna start seeing the frame section show up, and it's just gonna be like, it's happening, it's finally
Yeah,
happening.
it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's happening.
Remember like 5 years ago when people were like, no, there's no way they would ever manage it, and now they have like a whole they have a whole boiler shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is drivers.
Not to interrupt, but I feel like relevancy here. Those drivers were on display at the Youngstown Steel Heritage site.
Yes.
And I feel like they may, if a certain somebody knew they were there, they might be involved in slips.
Yeah, that might be.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, that is kind of a good point.
Yeah.
Again, the best.
Bring Chris Eden back for Volume 2 in 2030 when 11 and.
Yes.
Oh my god! I love how big they are next to 58.
I love that.
That's
I would
so
like
good.
to point out that the T1 Trust website lists the engine as 40% complete, but I think that's before they updated like for the driver information because it still says the drivers are on order.
I'd say they're probably about 40, 45, somewhere in that
I
ballpark.
think they only have the one driver set at the moment. But I'm not.
Well, they have.
But that's from a while ago. Like these just came in.
Yeah, they've got.
This is as of January 2022. Yeah,
so it's probably more like 45 now.
Yeah,
they've
That's
got
fucking
the
sick,
CAD.
dude. I'm so hyped.
We've got like initial CAD drawings for the frames up on the site, and it looks like look at that. They're doing it. They're doing shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. They're gonna. I think they can really pull it off. I think it's going to be sick once they do.
I
Are they
agree.
gonna finally fill it with concrete and run it on the main line?
Based.
I'm hoping they'll do something with the tender soon enough, because that thing needs probably
bit
more
ready.
stabilization work at the very least than what they've been doing, at
Right.
least publicly.
Yeah, no, I'm sure the first priority though is like getting all of the parts ordered.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think at the moment it's a little bit deceiving because it, I think, looks like a bit more than it actually is. Like they have the shell of the boiler. You could not put steam in that yet.
No.
That is like
Yeah.
the outside of the boiler. They still have to put
Yeah.
all of the bits in it. But
Yeah.
it's
It's
cool
getting
because
there.
like now you can gesture at it and say like they've got the outer shell of the firebox, they've got the outer shell of the boiler. They're getting the money to open. They're getting the money to build the frames, and they've got CAD drawings of the frame. It's not like they have the shell of the cab and these guys really making strides. They
And it's
have made
also-
actual strides. They
Like,
got.
you have,
Sorry,
you
go
have to
ahead.
you have to consider the fact that the amount of stuff that they've done is now large enough that they can physically not move the whole completed set of what they have from their work site anymore.
Oh, that's
Outs-
good.
It's large
Outstanding.
enough that it's the truck that, they had to have a semi to pull the boiler out for the last public thing, and now they add any more to it. It's like it's
Not possible.
you get into the oversized loads that are such
expense.
bureaucratic nightmare that it's like, why would you move that for one
Right.
convention?
Right.
So I have a question about the drivers.
Yes.
Where are the flanges?
The tires were not manufactured yet, because you know how
Oh, okay.
a
Right.
tire.
I was wondering that too, actually.
Because with the steam locomotive, it's far cheaper to have just an outer ring that makes contact with the track, and then the like inner actual driver part is a separate component that the tire is on around. Because then, like when your tire wears out, you just replace the tire. You don't have to replace the entire driver because the tire is worn, because
I
the
see.
outer edge is
I
worn
see.
out.
I can't believe
Exactly.
they made traction tires a real thing.
Yes.
They also made the Ring of Fire a real thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Those are cool.
Yeah, they don't have flanges because that's the inside part of the driver. They still have to put the tires
Yeah.
on.
That's what's called the driver's center.
Yeah, because that's a lot more costly to manufacture, and therefore you put a tire around it because the tire is cheaper and easier to manufacture, so that, when wear happens, you only have one smaller bit that's cheaper to manufacture that you have to replace.
Also, this is just epic.
Yeah,
Like,
So do they have all of the drivers now?
No.
just two so far.
Well, no, because
No, I think they have at least.
the drawing before this update shows that they have
Maybe 4.
already
Oh, you know
two-
what? Yeah, they have a set.
Yeah,
they have a
they
set.
have
They have a
six,
set. They have a
actually.
set.
They have a full set.
They have a set.
Wow. We can make one powered set of a T1. What they should do is they should just make a Jubilee until they get them for the next set of drivers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Basically, yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean, I joke about that, but they don't have the leading or trailing axles yet, so.
Yeah.
Let's actually. I'm gonna check the fundraising center really quickly. See what the dealio with the.
It
Now,
is.
what they should
Sponsor
do
part.
is give it its original puppet gear instead of the other stuff they're gonna put on it
Well,
to make
they're
it better.
giving it valve gear that was actually applied to one of the T1s.
I know. I just don't think it looks as good.
Yeah.
It's more
that's
functional.
fair, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with a steam locomotive is already a wildly impractical machine, and as far as steam locomotives go, the T1 is going to be a wildly impractical machine. Like, this is a wildly impractical undertaking to have. So I feel like on some level you do have to a little bit compromise your form for function.
Now, I'm not gonna say much on that front because, I agree. Tornado, which was, the first new build British locomotive in a long time, is apparently substantially different from its peppercorn design in many ways. It has a lot of modernizations under the hood, so to speak, and the T1 I'm sure will incorporate those.
like
It has some modernizations.
signal lights.
It's not as much as they could have gone, because I think you might be thinking of
Speedometer.
Porta's proposal to the T1 Trust in 1997, maybe, was it?
I don't think so. I haven't read much about it. I just know the A1 has a lot of modern improvements on its.
Yeah, it has a fair amount. But Porta was basically suggesting, okay, we will build an A1 in Spirit, but it's actually going to be like this, massively powered second generation steam locomotive under the hood. Whereas the T1 Trust, T1 and the A1 Trust are like, yeah, we'll do basically to the same dimensions, use modern materials, use modern build practices, and add in, modern electronics.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this thing get off the
Is it
ground.
being built with
Yeah.
PTC? I'm just kidding.
It should
It
be,
probably
I
will
think.
be though.
I would be
shocked if it wasn't.
I'm really glad we've reached a point where we're no longer at. I'm glad we've reached a point where they've got substance instead of just sizzle. Because when it was just like we have a couple drivers on order and we made the prow and the exterior of the cab, it's like,
Cool.
okay, great, cool. You've got sizzle and no substance.
Now
but now they have substance.
Now
they
that's
have
what he does. They've got substance and sizzle.
Yeah, they're building they've got the boiler shell. They've got like tube sheets already being manufactured. They've got drivers. They're working on getting the frames on order. It's sick.
Yeah.
It shall be done.
It will be done.
Yeah, we will.
It
shall be done.
We will keep the podcast updated.
It will be done, my
It will
lord.
happen. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited.
We've talked about the T1 so long as penance for ruining Ellis's podcast.
Yeah.
We're giving him some standards.
And
this is our penance.
Does anyone
giving penance?
Does anyone have any? I think this is next. Yeah. Does anyone have any channel or podcast related you guys want to announce? Any advertisements?
By trading cards.
Put it
people.
put it in the Discord.
Yeah. By trading cards.
By trading cards.
There is a Kickstarter. There's a Kickstarter you can go to.
It will be linked in the cards.
Where our glorious Lord Ellis has worked very, very hard.
What do you mean, glorious Lord? He's in our dungeon now.
Yeah. Our Admiral Ellis, our former glorious Lord, our ex-Admiral Ellis. He has worked very hard to make this next set of trading cards,
and we love him for it.
Let's take this opportunity while Ellis isn't here to just say
we love you,
Ellis. Ellis works so hard for like this community he's cultivated, and it's
very amazing.
Give him some love because he works very hard on this, Ellis. And I think sometimes that goes a little underappreciated. But yeah, he's worked very hard on this next batch of cards, and I'm sure he's gonna work even harder once the project is funded. So go fund this project.
Go fund it.
Go fund it. Go fund it.
Go fund it.
Go buy trading cards. Yeah.
It's
on Kickstarter.
Oh, it's on Kickstarter.
I got some good logos
go fund it on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Go buy a pack of cards on Kickstarter and then tell Ellis that he's a very cool guy and that he's great.
Love him.
Yes,
go subscribe to his channel too.
Put in your own suggestion for a locomotive to be featured later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Buy a suggestion for a locomotive. The third batch will be People's Choice, so if you buy a suggestion add-on, you will get to suggest a
Buy some cards.
Speaking of cards, what all are your favorite cards in this pack?
The Diesel.
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh,
Long River 110.
Of course. I'm gonna have to go with Baldwin 60,000.
Yeah, of course.
No bias there at all.
No bias.
Timken for Aces is also pretty good.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway,
nice, but
who's doing latest train on Amtrak?
I'm doing it. I have it up.
Okay. Great.
It is time for the latest train on Amtrak, everybody. So, who wants to go first? Take your guesses.
Empire Builder.
Which direction? East or westbound?
Eastbound.
Eastbound Builder. All right.
Hey, O'Gillies, have you seen the Southwest Chief recently?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with westbound Southwest Chief.
Westbound Southwest Chief. Okay. So we've got the westbound or eastbound? Eastbound Builder, westbound Chief. East?
I will go with... Oh.
Go.
I'll go with the westbound Sunset.
Westbound Sunset. Okay. East.
1 sec.
Okay. It's been a second. What's your train?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with like Southbound Silver Series.
Southbound Silver Series. All right. So in order of on time to not on time, the eastbound Empire Builder Chicago was on time at Shelby, Montana, and 48 minutes late at La Crosse, Wisconsin, albeit there is a service disruption, so that might end up being the latest train on Amtrak. But as of right now, it is not. And the westbound Southwest Chief was on time at Raton, New Mexico, and that's the only one on system. And then Tyler, you had the eastbound Sunset,
I had westbound Sunset,
and the Silver Series. So let me find the Silver Series on the map. What numbers are the Silver Series?
91, 92, or 98, 97. I don't know which is.
All right, so the southbound 91, 92, you said?
Yeah.
The southbound Silver Star was on time at Wilmington, Delaware. The northbound Silver Star was 11 minutes late at Richmond, Virginia. Amtrak's having a good day today. And then there's no 98 or 99 on the system right now. And the westbound Sunset Limited is the second latest train on Amtrak, or second latest train on Amtrak, at 4 hours and 33 minutes late at Del Rio, Texas. So you might be wondering, what is exactly the latest train on Amtrak? The latest train on Amtrak, we talked about it earlier in this podcast, and you know exactly why it's late, is the eastbound Capital Limited.
I feel stupid now that you say it. It's
5 minutes late at Connellsville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we talked about this.
We talked about that exact train and why it was so late.
We talked about.
Rip.
The thing is.
Oh, that's not why it's late.
That's
not why it's late. It left Chicago late. Never mind.
Yeah, it left Chicago 2 hours late and then
lost
picked up
another
2 hours.
3 hours
Yeah.
at 2 hours at Sandusky.
Is Amtrak still not running daily service?
In fairness, when it left Chicago, the accident had already happened, so it might have been delayed in part because of the accident
Okay,
already.
So there's train
but,
666. Damn, that's kind of sucky.
How late is the corridor to Toronto? 57 minutes late at Guelph, Ontario.
And there are current Amtrak status. There are 71 on-time trains, 18 late, 8 very late, 3 extremely late, and 1 service disruption. And on VIA, everything is late, so it doesn't matter.
How's the Canadian doing?
17.
4 minutes late.
Oh, wow.
Only 4 minutes,
4 minutes late at Melville, Saskatchewan, and 1 minute late at Parry Sound Gallery, Ontario.
Outstanding.
On time for once. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, wow, that's...
Overall, this is actually a pretty good day for
pretty good
Amtrak
day
and
for
VIA.
Amtrak and VIA.
Yeah. The Canadian has made it
24
through
hours
to
late.
Saskatchewan. The Canadian made it through to Saskatchewan without a serious. I mean, it was an hour late. It was an hour late back, but it was an hour late, but it made up some time. Probably because the Canadian has some serious padding in its schedule.
You know, I suppose if you wanted to avoid the service disruption on the eastbound Empire Builder right now, you could instead take the Cascades onto the VIA train.
And you'd probably get there
And
quicker.
then- Yeah.
No, you could.
Oh, we missed the
VIA
train.
runs.
God damn it. It's fine. It was boring.
Okay, well, Jellies.
Sorry.
All right. I guess termination time. No one. Actually, I feel like some of you deserved points. I feel like Ojili's deserved at least one for the whole locomotive versus debacle.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll go first.
So
my termination
Jellies-
is I'm sorry I picked a crappy camp today. Rochelle only had 2 trains on the whole time we've been doing this podcast.
I guess East, you're next.
I'm sorry.
Is that your whole termination? Bender, our long-suffering guest, what is your termination?
I apologize for dragging it out when you tried to start this by having my bad breakfast and not knowing how to do anything. And
No,
also,
It's completely valid.
You were not the biggest mess in this
You were not the
episode by
biggest
a
mess.
long
I think
shot.
it was the
I
four
think
foamers.
there was, yeah.
It was all of us, but
Bender
mostly
was the
me.
most organized.
You just sort of stood around while the four stooges stumbled around and slapped each other. So like, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Thank you for being a guest on this
keeps
episode and putting up with our
Messing
garbage.
with the order of people.
I just was putting myself
Achilles
first because I have one
Yeah,
strike.
Achilles is to be at the top because we gave him a point.
Yeah, but who put Bender second?
I don't know.
Bender was second. Okay, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
No,
It was just
wouldn't
like-
It doesn't
be
matter.
last
It doesn't
because of
matter.
the
It
gas?
doesn't matter.
Okay,
This is exactly what I was talking about. Okay, Bender, our long-suffering guest. What is your termination?
Okay, I will read from you a quote from my squadron.
Oh no. He one-shot me in one shot.
I am the eye of the saucepan.
I'd rather get lost in the sauce than sauce in the lost.
This sauce on the lots. Okay, that brings it around to me. So, vote for transit. I'm sorry, Ellis.
Do it.
Buy trading cards.
And my termination is, why did we do a queue again? Just to suffer? And have a link to a very interesting jazz cover.
All right. Well,
Special.
that just leaves the thank you. So, Achilles, do you want to
I
do
can do
this?
that.
Are you gonna? Yeah, great. Are you not gonna fumble this one?
Nope. Special
Come on,
thanks
Achilles, we
to
believe in you.
all of our co-hosts, so the four foamers, thanking ourselves. Our wonderful guest Bender, who had to deal with this bullshit. All of our viewers, Wes and Steve of SteamLocomotive.com, Virtual Railfan for not taking the podcast down yet, because we use their cameras. And we will see you all next week. And don't forget...
Wait, before we go, I'd like to interject. Special thank you to Ellis for trusting
Yeah,
us with
that
this.
too,
And
that
a
too.
Special I'm sorry to Ellis for trusting us with this. Give Ellis some
I
love.
don't
He
think you're
deserves
ever
it. He worked so hard.
It's ever going to forgive us.
We're gonna see another Four Foamers podcast.
Yeah, you will never see
Yeah.
us again. We're going to Gulag.
Yeah, no, we are suffering the same fate as Ellis. We are going to Louisiana.
We'll see you guys all in
Alright,
a couple
Achilles.
weeks. And in case of an emergency, don't forget, call Conrail at 1-800-272-0911. See you guys
Don't
later.
actually call Conrail.
Call Conrail. Don't call Conrail. Please don't call
Actually,
Conrail.
call Achilles at.
Bye, everybody.